The day of my product launch should have been the proudest moment of my life. The hall lights glowed warm and bright, cameras flashing, people buzzing. But all I saw were 2 empty chairs in the front row, reserved for my parents. I kept glancing at the entrance, hoping they'd walk in any minute, smiling and proud. They didn't. I checked my phone again. One message. "Sorry, sweetheart, we can't make it. Your brother's getting an award at work." My heart dropped. I had begged them to come. They'd said YouTube wasn't a real job, that I should have stayed at my old office job. And now, on the biggest night of my life, they had chosen him, again. I forced a smile as the host handed me the microphone. My voice shook. "Thank you, everyone, for believing in me," I began. But my throat burned. I wasn't sure I believed in myself anymore. As I spoke, the lights blurred. I thought of all the nights I'd edited videos until dawn, building a brand from scratch while my parents called it a hobby. The audience clapped, but inside I was breaking. After the event, I hid backstage. My manager, Kira, squeezed my shoulder. "You did amazing," she said softly. "Your story's inspiring." I nodded weakly. I didn't feel inspiring. Felt abandoned. The next morning, I woke to hundreds of notifications. Someone had recorded my emotional speech, tears and all, and it had gone viral. "Girl who was ignored by parents breaks hearts," the caption read. My inbox flooded with messages from people saying they understood. Some called me brave. But I didn't feel brave, I felt exposed. My parents still hadn't called. They hadn't even texted to say congrats. Instead, Mom posted a photo from my brother's ceremony. "So proud of our son." My stomach turned. 2 days later, my channel's subscribers tripled. Brands wanted collaborations. Reporters asked for interviews. Still, all I wanted was a simple call from home. Instead, my brother sent a voice note. "You really embarrassed Mom and Dad, Maya," he said coldly. "They said your little crying stunt made them look bad." Froze. Embarrassed them. They hadn't shown up. I took a deep breath and typed, "They made their choice." I just told my truth. I deleted it before hitting send. I didn't want to sound bitter. But deep down, something hardened in me. Maybe my parents would never believe in me, but the world suddenly did. Kira called that night, her voice excited. "Guess what? A national talk show wants you to share your story. They said it's powerful." My heart raced. National TV. Maybe this was my chance to finally be seen, not just by strangers but by them. When I told Mom about the interview, she sighed. "Maya, please don't drag our family into your online drama." Her voice was sharp, cold. "You've had your fun. Don't embarrass us again." I gripped the phone. "Embarrass you? You skipped my launch." Silence. Then she whispered, "We did what was best." I hung up before I said something I'd regret. For days, I practiced what I'd say on TV. I wanted to stay calm, not angry. The morning of the interview, I stared at my reflection. My makeup was perfect, but my eyes told another story. Hurt, exhaustion, defiance. On set, the host smiled warmly. "You turned rejection into success," she said. "How does it feel?" Smiled. "Honestly, it still hurts." I didn't name my parents, but everyone already knew. The clip aired that evening. Within hours, it trended worldwide. People called me the girl who rose anyway. The morning after, my phone rang nonstop. News outlets replayed my interview. My DMs overflowed. My parents didn't call, but my brother did. "You think you're a celebrity now," he snapped. "Mom's crying. Dad won't go to work." I swallowed hard. Maybe they should have thought about that before treating me like I didn't matter. He went silent, then hissed, "You'll regret this, Maya." He hung up. I stared at my reflection again. This time not with self-doubt, but a strange calm. For years I had begged for approval. Now I didn't need it. Still, something in me ached. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted them to see me. That evening, Kira texted, "Check the news. You're trending again." I opened the clip and gasped. The station had announced a live reunion segment. They'd invited my parents to appear on national TV. And this time I couldn't control what happened next. When I read the producer's message confirming the family reunion segment, my stomach twisted. They hadn't even asked me first. "It'll be great television," he'd written, like my pain was a plot twist for ratings. Called him immediately. "You can't just invite my parents," I said. "You don't know them." He chuckled. "Trust me, Maya. People love redemption arcs. Just be yourself." That night I barely slept. My parents still hadn't said a word to me. Not even to confirm if they'd come. I imagined walking onto that stage, cameras rolling, and them staring coldly like strangers. Kira told me, "If they come, you hold your power. You don't owe them anything." I nodded, though fear crept up my throat. For years I'd been the quiet one. Tomorrow, the world would finally hear what I'd never been brave enough to say. The studio lights were brighter than before, almost blinding. The host greeted me like an old friend, while my hands trembled in my lap. "Maya," she said softly, "today we're joined by your parents." The crowd murmured. I turned and there they were. Mom clutching her purse, Dad stiff beside her. My chest tightened. They looked uncomfortable, defensive. The host smiled. "Let's start from the beginning." I barely heard her words. All I saw was the woman who told me my dreams were childish and the man who never defended me. "Why didn't you attend your daughter's product launch?" the host asked. Mom forced a smile. "We love Maya. We just didn't want to encourage unrealistic careers." The audience gasped. I felt heat rise in my chest. "Unrealistic," said my voice steady. "You mean the career that's now paying my rent, my bills, and went viral because of you?" The crowd erupted with applause, but my parents' faces froze. Dad cleared his throat. "We didn't know it would be this big." His voice shook. "We only wanted you to have security." I met his eyes. I needed support, not control. Mom looked down. The host stepped in gently. "Maya, what would you say to your parents right now?" I took a long breath. "Thank you," I said quietly. "Because your doubt pushed me harder. But it also broke something in me that I'm still trying to fix." The audience went silent. Mom's eyes glistened, but no words came. When the segment ended, everyone clapped. Backstage, my parents avoided me. My dad muttered, "You embarrassed us again." I almost laughed. "You did that yourself," I whispered. Then I turned away. Kira hugged me tightly. "That was raw, honest, and perfect." I smiled weakly. "Then why does it still hurt?" The episode aired that night and exploded online. Millions watched me confront my parents. Some praised me. Others called me ungrateful. But the comments that stuck out were the ones from people who'd lived through the same thing. "You spoke for all of us." My parents still don't believe in my art. Reading them, I realized my story wasn't just mine. It was a mirror for so many others. Days later, I got a call from a huge cosmetics company. "We want to collaborate with you," they said. It was everything I'd dreamed of, yet the joy felt hollow. I stared at my phone, wondering if my parents had seen the episode. Hours later, Mom texted, "We need to talk." Alone. My stomach tightened. I didn't know if it meant apology, or another round of blame. Either way, I agreed. I needed closure one way or another. We met at the cafe near their house. Mom arrived alone. She looked tired, older somehow. For a moment, I saw the mother who used to braid my hair and pack my lunch. "Maya," she began softly, "I'm sorry. We didn't understand what you were building." Her eyes watered. "Your father's pride, it gets in the way." I wanted to believe her, but something felt off. "Then why did he call me ungrateful?" "Yes," she sighed. "He's hurt. People at his office are talking. He says you made him a laughingstock." My throat tightened. I didn't embarrass him. I just stopped hiding. She reached for my hand. "Give us time." I nodded, not trusting my voice. When she left, I noticed her phone light up on the table. A new message preview flashed. "Make sure she doesn't mention the loan." My pulse stopped. What loan? He didn't speak at first. Just stared at the headline. Meet the girl who turned rejection into stardom. I braced for anger. So, you really did all this? He asked quietly. Yes, I said. Without us. His voice cracked. You made us look like bad parents. My throat tightened. You made me feel invisible, I replied. He sighed deeply, rubbing his temples. Your mother's inside. She's hurt. Hurt. I almost laughed. She skipped the biggest day of my life. I walked past him into the house. My mom was on the couch, the TV replaying my interview. She looked at me, eyes red. You embarrassed us, Laura. That broke something inside me. You embarrassed me first, I snapped. The words came out sharper than I meant, but I didn't stop. You said YouTube wasn't real. You made me feel small. My mom stood shaking. We sacrificed for you. And you chose cameras over family. No, I said, trembling. I chose myself. The silence that followed was heavy, suffocating. My dad muttered, Go cool off, and I stormed out, slamming the door. Ada found me an hour later at our favorite cafe. Tears streaking my cheeks. You finally told them, she said softly. Yeah, I whispered. But it doesn't feel like victory. It feels like loss. She smiled sadly. Sometimes both come together. 2 weeks later, things exploded again, but not in the way I hoped. My YouTube story had gone viral overseas. A global tech brand reached out for a collaboration worth more than my parents' annual income. I signed it in disbelief. The campaign aired, showing me mentoring young creators in Lagos. I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd be proud. Instead, my mom called one night, voice cold. You've changed. I had to, I said. No one else believed in me. She sighed. Don't forget where you come from. I hung up and stared at my reflection. I wasn't forgetting. I was rewriting what where I come from meant. Months passed. My channel hit 1 million subscribers. Invitations to conferences rolled in. Still, I kept my distance from home. One morning, Ada burst in, waving her phone. Laura, you're trending again. A popular talk show had aired a segment about me. How a Nigerian girl turned her parents' doubt into drive. Comments flooded in. She's proof that dreams pay. But then I saw a familiar comment under the clip, posted from my dad's account. We always knew she'd make it. My chest tightened. Always knew. That wasn't true. But somehow it still made me smile. Maybe it was their awkward way of saying sorry. Then came the award nomination. Digital Creator of the Year. I wanted to celebrate, but my heart ached. Missed them. So I called. Mom, I got nominated. Silence. Then. When's the event? Next weekend. Your father and I are busy. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Right. Busy. After we hung up, I sat in the quiet. Ada texted. You're going to win, I can feel it. I forced a smile. Winning didn't feel so important anymore. I'd spent years chasing recognition, but what I really wanted was for my parents to see me. Not on TV. To see me. The day of my launch finally arrived. My heart raced as I watched people flood into the hall. Investors, creators, and even a few reporters. Cameras flashed, the lights shimmered, and the smell of coffee and ambition filled the air. But my parents' seats sat empty. I'd saved the front row for them, just in case. My chest tightened each time the door opened, hoping they'd walk through. They never did. When the host announced, Let's welcome the visionary behind Dreamland Studios, Laura. I walked up, smiling through the sting in my chest. I told myself this moment was still mine. Afterward, I checked my phone. Not a single text from mom or dad. Hours later, while scrolling social media, I saw their faces in someone's photo. They were at my cousin's engagement party that same night. They hadn't forgotten. They'd chosen not to come. I stared at the screen, feeling my throat close. A wave of shame and anger surged through me. My parents had skipped my biggest milestone for a party. The comments on my post were blowing up. So proud of you. Your story is inspiring. But I couldn't enjoy any of it. Called Mom. No answer. Called Dad. Straight to voicemail. My best friend, Chica, placed a hand on my shoulder. They'll regret this, Laura. You don't need them to clap for you. But I did. I always had. That night I went live on YouTube to thank everyone who'd supported me. My voice trembled as I said, sometimes the people you love the most won't believe in you, until the world does. The video went viral overnight. By morning I had 1.2 million views. Comments poured in from strangers sharing their own stories of doubt and rejection. My email filled with interview requests. But one message stood out. It was from a national talk show. They wanted me to appear as a guest to share my journey from YouTube hobbyist to successful entrepreneur. My hands shook as I read the line. We believe your story will inspire thousands. I thought of Mom's words echoing in my head. YouTube isn't a real job. Now it was about to get me on TV. I said yes immediately. Then, with a calmness I didn't recognize, I sent one text to our family group chat. Hey, just wanted to let you know I'll be on national TV this weekend. Thought you might want to watch. The message showed read. But no one replied. The day of the interview arrived faster than I expected. I wore a white suit I'd saved for one day. The day I'd prove myself. At the studio, the producers greeted me warmly. You're trending everywhere, one of them said, grinning. People love your honesty. I smiled, though my heart pounded. Before stepping onto the stage, I checked my phone again. Still nothing from my parents. When the host finally introduced me, please welcome Laura, the creative powerhouse behind Dream Lens. The audience erupted.